Good morning. Welcome to Unity of Little Rock. Yay, you've survived another cold front coming through.
Yeah, really cold.
If this is your first time here, make yourself at home. Be welcome here. If you look inside your bulletin, there's a little insert in there, a little strip that if you want to provide information, we'd be happy to just be able to send you information about what happens here at Unity, as well as afterwards, I will be in the community room and I will have packets that have information as well as parting gifts. It has coupons and discounts in it. So everyone wants those. So come visit with me afterwards in the community room. If this is your first time or your 10th time and you haven't received one of those, please come visit with us. You're going to do something with us a little different to start us off today, aren't you?
Yes, I am. You were supposed to have received a red card as you came in, and if you don't have one, I know that Tina would be glad to give you one. So we're going to use that red card during the meet and greet, and I want you to show your card and share it with someone else, and we'll be using it again later on in the service. So share your card, and let's give it that good old Unity meet and greet and hug and whatever we want. Let's go. Whatever we want? Well, that's kind of broad, isn't it? Okay. What do you have?
Flexibility. I'm not real good at that. I told Tina that probably I got that card
For a reason? Oh, it came right to you, huh? Hey, sweetheart. You need friendship. Well, we can all use friendship.
Shared reality. Ooh.
Oh, I like that. Well, I'm just peace. I'm just doing it, so. Did you? Hey, Bill. All righty. What card you get? Ah, that's a good one. All right, sweetheart. I'll connect with you.
I got officially engaged.
No way.
Fireworks. So I'm going to be getting my grandmother's ring, but this black diamond just to stand in until.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Oh, sweetheart. That's so great.
I hate to be spoiled.
Oh, I love this.
What's that? Hymns are gone.
Ooh, I love that.
Welcome, everyone.
Hi, Katie.
We have our Christ candle burning. to
Yeah,
represent
so pretty.
The flame of the Christ consciousness within us all. And with that, as we lift to our statement of being together, I
Am an individualized expression of God. I am ever one with His perfect love, and perfect substance.
As we move into our opening prayer, let's all close our eyes and take a deep breath in gratitude for this beautiful day and this time we share together as a community. And as we breathe, let us acknowledge the power of life flowing through each and every one of us. Indeed, life is carried in the breath and the consciousness. And as we feel that Christ consciousness move through us, let's call to mind a better version of ourselves that we can step into right now. And in gratitude that we have already made this so, let us give thanks in the name and power of Jesus Christ, and so it is. Amen.
Amen.
You're gonna get better now than what you were.
Wonderful gathering of all of us here. So let us begin our meditation with a deep breath. Breathe in at a slow and even pace. Begin to breathe deeper and fuller. Think about the needs card you were given, or maybe one that you saw in the meet and greet. Focus on this need. Let it resonate in your heart. Remember a time when this need was met in your life. Or if it's something that you're reaching for, imagine what it would be like to have that need met. Bring that memory to mind in vivid detail if you can. What does it look like? What does it feel like? What feelings arise? This need is met, so what sensations arise? So dwell in that vision. But now, let go of the memory. Let go of the moment you feel the need met. Even let go of the label and the words if you can. Just be with the energy you felt as this need was met. Try to understand as much as you can about this feeling in you. Is there a color, a texture, a shape? Is there a tingling, a pressure, an expansion? Does the energy move? How and where? Think of it as a white light or a colorful light. You choose. And let it enter. Let it enter your body from your feet, up through your torso, into your arms and out to your fingers, and then back through your head. Let the energy move entirely through you and through your body. Feel saturated in the energy of this need, this beautiful need. If you really get saturated, you might even wonder, well, where does the energy end and I begin? You are this energy. This energy of the need lives in you. It starts from you. You are the need. You are the peace, the connection, the authenticity. You are the need. You matter. This energy is unlimited. So now bring to mind friends, family, loved ones, and send this energy out to them. It radiates from you to them. Bring to mind people who are maybe harder to love. Oh, let's send that energy out with extra oomph. Now imagine that this energy extends to Little Rock, to our state, to our country, and to the world. Now we've created energetic matrices to all the planet. Wow. Notice how this feels. Notice how the extension doesn't take anything away from you. You are still immersed in the energy. There's no lack. We are all part of these energetic matrices. Now bring the energy back to you, seeing that you are still filled with the healing energy of the beauty of that need. Remember, the beauty of this need starts with you in your heart and then ripples out to your community and world. You might ask yourself, is there one simple action you could do today to bring this energy of the need more fully into your life and relationships? So now bring yourself back to awareness and remind yourself this beautiful energy of the need is abundant and it lives in you. It's only asking for your attention and connection. Let's breathe and bring ourselves back into the pew. Bring your attention back to the room. Enter the beauty of needs and you enter life. Enter the beauty of needs and you enter life. This current that runs through our body, this living energy of needs, it's very basic to us, and it manifests as these human needs. So it's very much a part of our human experience. But for me, it's become a doorway to my spiritual being. That's just how important some of this work is in nonviolent communication. So let's see what needs were out there in the audience. Now, you don't all have to stand up, but if you're willing to share your card, let's just in popcorn style, stand up and hear what some of these needs were. Intimacy, okay. Equality, Pam. Understanding. Freedom. Trust. To matter and to belong. It's a good one. Acknowledgement. Shared reality. Help and support. Compassion and empathy. Love. You know, I didn't hear, Deborah? Creativity. Say again? Friendship. Space, okay. Authenticity. Wow. That is the gamut there. That's wonderful. But you know what? I didn't hear, I need a house. Or I need a car. But Russ, what were we saying about I need a house? Yeah, you know, that is the thing. We need a house, but what happens with that?
Well, we may have something that we desire in our life, and actually it's quite important to us, like having shelter and having food. But underneath that, there's truly a need, the needs that we're talking about here. If we want a house, well, it's because we have a need for something greater than just the physical structure. So today, what we're talking about are those type of needs, not just the need that gets voiced so often in our lives about the needs for money and shelter and love and lovers and the gamut that goes on that realm in which we're ultimately trying to have those things to find, reach, discover and fulfill those needs that you've just listed in this room?
Yeah. Yeah, these needs really express qualities of life that we value. They kind of underlie all those physical needs that we have. That's how I see it. And here is the wheel of needs. And I know you can't read that, but it's a lot, but it's not it's not infinite, and it's really common to all of us. To me, it's a point of oneness. All of these human needs.
So we all have the same needs. There isn't
Yes.
there isn't that I have a different need than you have.
Right.
We all have that same needs. But I may be trying to meet a need in my life that you're not trying to meet in yours. Is that
Right.
correct?
One could be more prevalent to me than to you. And you ask a good question. Is there ever a negative need? And I say no. There's no negative need here. What happens is there are strategies to meet the need. And these strategies, well, that's where the bad stuff can come in, And because I may have a strategy that totally disregards what you need and actually harms you. So it could be, that's where the negativity comes in. In fact, and I may say this another time, this is really important, there are no conflicts in the needs. It's only the conflict arises from the strategies that we use to meet the needs and from not having the conversation and the understanding that we need to have. So,
So how did you discover NVC, nonviolent communication? Because that in some ways is a teaching and an organization and a book
Yes.
and has an author. There's lots of things that we can say nonviolent communication is. How did you come across that?
well, back in 2012, Terry Moon was here and she gave an introductory talk. And, way back in the 90s, early 2000s, we all heard those just talk with I statements. I feel because, or I need, or something happened to me because I feel. But Terry added on that extra bit, the need. And when I started to understand, it really explained the human behavior so much better to me. And so when I started hearing that, I had to know more. Well, then Grayson Sloan, Chris Johnson, some of us, I think Deborah DeBlasi, even at that time, we got into a group with Terry, and we just kept it going. And then Grayson and I have been to immersion experiences, and we brought Jeff Brown here in 2012, and Francois Beaujolais, and so we have really tried to build a nonviolent community, an NVC community here at Unity. And I've been practicing it in my life, but not always skillfully. I admit that. I mean, I'm perfectly imperfect. But but here's a measure of how I know it's starting to work. I have a son who's 40 and a daughter who's 38. And when I first started practicing, they gave me the big old eye roll. Oh, here she goes again. When I hear you do this, I feel because I need. And I'd start guessing, well, what do you need? And they couldn't take it. Y'all, now they are asking for my advice. And in fact, Mom, how would I word that in NVC? And in fact, for my daughter's wedding, we're actually organizing it around the needs. And it's so interesting because, so whenever we get into a conflict, I said, okay, let's pull out the needs again. It's meaningful, intimate, fun, celebration. Does any of that conflict, go against these needs? And she'll go, oh, okay, I guess it really doesn't matter how I address the envelopes. I don't have to have calligraphy. So I really kind of start to feel like I'm making a little progress there with that. But I do want to give you all some background. You can see that we have the cover of the book from Marshall Rosenberg, and he was the founder of nonviolent communication. Back in the 60s, 70s, he was in Detroit, and he wanted to participate in some conflict resolution. And so in that conflict resolution, he actually got a PhD in psychology. And then he was also influenced by Gandhi and by the work of Martin Luther King at the time. And you know that in those days, nonviolent demonstration was very, very important. And some people have asked me, that's kind of a weird name, nonviolent communication, but the origin is at that time when we use the word nonviolence. And now many groups call themselves compassionate communication. But the very heart of it is that all of our behavior and our actions stem from a desire to meet a need. And that's all it is. And then, as I said, there's no conflict in the needs, but there's conflict in the strategies. So, and Marshall believed that if we understood the feeling and the need underneath that we really could achieve harmony. So that's his feeling.
That might be applicable today, too, instead of just back when Marshall...
I kind of think so. What do you think about the level of conversation that's going on today?
Well, I kind of look at, if we look at the public conversations, they got a little violence going on in them. There's a little anger, there's a little confrontation, or a whole lot of confrontation, depending on how you step back and look at it. And the conversations to me are quite interesting because it's people that have a belief and it matters to them. In some ways, it's that need matters to them, but they're not in a conversation in which they're looking to the other person to understand them. To me, the conversations are, I'm just looking to hear what you say so that I can respond to convince you on my way's the right way. And that I've got the right idea and that you don't have the right idea. So it's not a dialogue in which I'm trying to help get clarity and to share clarity. It's just a way of trying to force down on someone else my ideas while I'm ultimately trying to meet something that is here within me, my need.
Yeah, that's it. I had an interesting application to this recently. Let's see, okay, my air conditioning went out about 3 weeks ago for a week. Okay, so now that was kind of like hell in Arkansas, but for a unitic, honestly made a spiritual practice out of it. I'm not kidding. And I had many moments where it wasn't pretty. I had a meltdown on the phone with a tech, you said you were going to be here, blah, 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 blah. But it's so interesting, in our unity practice in an NBC, I've started to watch myself. So I was watching myself melt down, and I'm going, and then I'm thinking, oh, wait, it's not this guy's fault, and so I began to ask myself, what did I need? Well, I needed some clarity and transparency from them about what was going on and when they would arrive and so forth. And so another thing that was interesting that happened is, well, after this gone on about 5 days, somebody said, well, you just can't take this line down. You need to be mean. In fact, my son said, Mom, you need to be violent. So you've got to go talk to them and give them a piece of your mind and make them do what you want, or you just got to fire them. I mean, it was just, and I just was going, I don't really want to do any of that. I know I've got to be firm, but I don't know that I have to be ugly about this. So finally I decided I'm going to go to the actual workshop where this place of business was. And, I could have gone in there with both guns blazing, but if you'll look at the diagram, at the outside we have an intention to just connect. So I said, I just really want to see these people face to face and see if I can get a better result. And I just really wanted to be present with them. Also, and this isn't on that diagram, but it's really important to be open and curious. Just curious about what was going on. And so I show up, and they were shocked. It was fun. Ms. McGee, okay. So, and then I said, listen, I just want to sit down and really understand what's going on. I just need some clarity. And she said, oh, well, we will get a tech with you. And so I sat down with the tech, and then I started watching the office, what was going on in the office. And in that office, I realized, well, they were telling everybody the same story they were telling me. They were saying, we have to work on that pricing. Still don't know why pricing takes 2 or 3 days to figure out, but that was just their process. And then I realized, they're overwhelmed. This is a hot summer. There's a lot of air conditioners breaking down. And I just began to see them not as an enemy image, as we say, but as humans just doing the best they could. And that is the thing about nonviolent communication. So look at the steps. You start with an observation. I started watching what was going on in the office. I got in touch with my feelings of frustration and anxiety, and I was just anxious if I was ever going to have air conditioning again. And then I really did understand what my needs were, but also I started looking at them. And it just shifted. It's like I relaxed and something just opened up. And we sat down and they found parts for me, and they scheduled an appointment. Within 2 days, I had air conditioning. I do have to laugh as a unitic. I was sitting there while he called the people about the motor and the parts, and I thought about Paul Hasselbeck. I was manifesting up in the divine realm. I was manifesting those motors. I didn't know what they looked like, but man, I was bringing it in. So, you use NBC, you use your Unity skills all together. So anyway, but...
So one of our steps is requests. Was a request made in that process?
I'm glad you brought that up. And in a way, I think it did come down to that. I said, can I get the information I need so I can know how to plan my life in the next couple of days? And when will you come? Will you be able to really give me an appointment? And he did. I walked out. And I felt so satisfied when I walked out because I had been authentic and I'd had integrity. I didn't yell at him and take him apart. I couldn't have done it anyway, but so that and then you see there's an awareness that all this was going on too, and that really contributed to how I was responding to them and then feeling about myself too. So that's an important part of this process. But I think about our own community here. And rather than picking on a story in this community, I've got a really favorite one out of the Bible. It's from Luke. It's about Martha and Mary. They were the sisters of Lazarus. Mm-hmm. And, they were letting Jesus come in for a visit. But you know what? I got the real deal today. Martha, come on up and tell us about what happened. Yay!
Okay.
Tell us what happened.
Well, I was really excited about Jesus coming over, and we were going to entertain him as our guest in our home. And Mary and I were supposed to get together and take all the preparations. But as soon as he showed up at the door, she sat there on the floor right in front of him. And she was just looking up at him in awe and having a good time. And I am in the kitchen preparing.
She got her gloves.
Food for everybody who's coming over today. And I didn't get to have any fun. I didn't get to hear what he had to say. And I was not happy. I was not happy. So.
Well, did you talk to Jesus about it?
Well, it. Go figure. Okay, so I went to Jesus and I told him, I said, Mary's in here and I'm over there. I'd like to hear what you have to say, but I'm in the kitchen working. Can you have Mary come help me? And he said, would you believe what he said? Martha, Martha, Martha. There were two tasks. You seem overwhelmed and you seem distracted. And he said, there's really only one thing to choose here, and she chose the better one. And I'm not going to take it away from her that she has the opportunity to sit here and hear my lesson. So you're on your own.
Wow. Hey, I wonder if any of us can help Martha out. Oh. Anyone else?
Hard to hear that Mary is right.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh.
Martha, you should have heard what he did to me. Well, I was taking care of all these children, and he's sitting there very calm and peaceful.
And it's frustrating. I'm going after these kids running all over, and I'm trying to get them and take them away so they can take them to the car so that they don't keep interrupting.
I understand.
Took them and maybe go away. I'll be in trouble.
Wow. Just ignored you, so.
You really need to go back and have a nice talk with Jesus and explain this. I mean, he basically, took you by surprise and went ready for that. You need to explain to him how important it is for your service to be able to support him, give him a nice how much that matters. Maybe you can get him, like, talk to people after dinner. That way, they can help you and to get them on a lot faster and nicer. That would be a really good thing. Also, you just can't let Mary walk all over you like that.
Oh, my. So we have the interrogator, the commiserator, the fixer, the one-upmanship. How did that make you feel?
Well, it didn't really help too much. But I'm really glad that one person commiserated with me.
Yeah, you
I felt
poor
a little
dear.
better, but it didn't really help. I'm not sure people really get what I'm trying to say. I do love my sister.
Yeah, you really kind of want things to work out a little bit better.
yeah.
Yeah, I get that. Well, you know what? We are going to do an NVC process. And I think it may help us get down to the meat at the heart of this matter. And this is called an NVC dance. And some of you may remember we had another visitor back in December, Joseph. Joseph did this dance. But I will review you on the cards. And they're up here for you to see. So you may notice that Martha started with a little bit of judgment and blaming in her story. We always start there. That's kind of, and Rosenberg called that the jackals. But the jackals are really important. We need to allow them because they point to what we need. So we allow that to be the first step in the dance. And then we do like to move to pure observation. What really just happened without any elaborate explanation. And then we identify the feelings. And the big deal today is the needs that underlie the feelings. And then finally, we get to requests. And you might make a request of other people. Sometimes you just want to make a request of yourself. And sometimes you may get the actual other person that's just involved with you at that moment. And then with all these requests, it comes down to, well, maybe I can think of an action step. So we're going to let you do this dance. Now, so you really were some anger.
Yeah, I'm mad. I always get stuck with all the responsibility and none of the fun. And I'm working by myself and I'm tired and then I don't get to enjoy the time with people or I miss it altogether.
Well, so I'm hearing you're just tired and you're frustrated and irritated. Yeah. Can you make an observation though about what really?
Well, there was a lot going on in the kitchen, and Mary was just sitting there doing nothing, and I thought, why couldn't she get up and help me?
Right. So now you're back. Why couldn't Mary help? That's okay.
Yeah. And I was overwhelmed.
You were feeling overwhelmed. Yeah.
And didn't have my priorities straight, so I could have done stuff in advance and gotten her help then, or could have probably done it a different way. And
okay, so you could have gotten your priorities straight. So you're kind of getting a little critical of yourself, but that's okay. But what were you really? Can you get to what you were needing?
Let's see. Well, I needed help, and I needed to be acknowledged.
Oh, you wanted to be appreciated and supported.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow, that's I understand
And I
that.
didn't have to be so mean and in my approach.
So you said I could have done things differently. Could you maybe have made a request if you needed that support and that acknowledgement?
I should have made a request of Mary to help me get things ready so I didn't have to do it alone, and so that I could participate in the activity.
Right. You know, Lewis had that card, shared reality. You know, if y'all did you have a conversation before?
Not that conversation, no.
Okay.
We kind of talked around it, but it wasn't clear.
Ah, you needed some clarity too. Okay. So if you'd had a little bit of clarity and shared with Mary,
You know, that how I was feeling both physically and mentally about being there, wanting to be included.
you needed to be included. That, you felt a little isolated in the kitchen.
Very much so.
Oh, okay. That's a good one. What do you think? Do you have any clues about what Mary, it's easy to look at her and say Mary was lazy, but what Mary?
Mary was wanting to hear his message and learn
Learn?
from him, and his presence is just so
Wow, yeah.
calming and comforting that she was just drawn.
Drawn right into
Yeah.
it. I think, did you want that connection too?
I wanted that connection.
Wow. So you needed inclusion, connection. Okay. So now that we've kind of looked at both of you, and you've really expressed the depth of what you wanted out of this, not just the help in the kitchen,
Right.
but clearly that.
But I wanted the opportunity to
Sure.
learn and grow and expand so that I'm not in this process again. So that I'm not angry. I don't want to be an angry person all the time.
Oh, you didn't really want to show up angry.
Yeah, I didn't want to be that person in his presence.
Oh, wow. So there could have been a little shame, a little bit,
Yeah.
when Jesus responded that way. Wow, that's interesting. So, so we think that maybe in the future you could request, if Jesus comes again.
Yeah, let's prepare more in advance and
But are you going to let Mary know that you understand that it's important to her
why it's important to me that
and
we
to
do it
her?
together.
Yes,
Yes.
partnership,
Yes, teamwork,
teamwork.
dreamwork.
Okay, all right. So, are you feeling as angry?
No, and I feel better about the next time this situation could arise, that I'll know better how to handle it.
Okay. Do you feel heard, that you were able to?
Yeah, I feel acknowledged and heard, so that people will understand if I start that direction why I'm being that way.
Okay.
That it's not really them I'm angry with, but
Is there kind of do you feel that shift? Ah.
shoulders are back.
Ah.
Take a deep breath. It's
Good.
not all tied up.
It's not, okay. That's wonderful, Martha. Oh, we have a lot of Marthas in our church, too. Oh, my goodness. So, Russ, what did you see in that process?
Well, we started talking about needs and that we all have the same universal needs, that is just inherent in us, those qualities that we desire in our life. So here's Martha. And for me, Martha just had a normal situation of something arose that I wanted to be there too with Jesus, and I also wanted to do what I love, and that's make sure my guests are well taken care of. So I had this inner turmoil while I'm watching someone else not really help me with my strategy the way I wanted to be helped and getting those needs met. And this to me was a great dance, because it was just that. It wasn't we casually walked through the steps of it, and we progressed in a straight line, and it happened in 37 seconds. It was, I moved back and forth through the process of feeling what I feel, being aware of my judgments and my anger that I may be experiencing, and then being able to observe that. And then the observing, I can get much more clarity about what I'm feeling. And once I have the feeling, as you said, the feeling helps us point in the direction of the need. So I now can identify my need. And then my favorite part was, as Martha started to identify her needs, she could also ponder what was Mary's needs.
Yeah, she was open, wasn't she?
In this situation. And that actually, maybe we had similar needs. We were just going about meeting them in different ways in that experience. And then, to me, the kicker was, I didn't just have all this awareness and then go back and let the same situation unfold the same way. I made requests. I asked the people involved to do something that would help support me in my need. Now, that didn't mean they did anything different.
Right.
But I was willing to step up.
That's true. You experienced it differently. Yeah.
Right.
Martha did. Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. Wow.
And I think that that's powerful for us to recognize that this didn't just change Martha's relationship with Mary. It was helping that relationship, but who changed was Martha. So in essence, this communication piece was an external communication and an internal.
Yes. Yes. Wow. You got it. You're a good student of NBC. Well, I have one more step that I want to talk about. It's not really a step at NBC, but it has to do with unity. I've brought NBC to my prayer practice, especially in the prayer chaplain work, because it's become a way for me to listen to people. And a prayer chaplain is never there to fix, ever. And so I get this practice in NBC, and so I brought it there. And when I start understanding people's needs, we have that conversation, that NBC conversation, and then I feel like I just launch right into the prayer. And so for today, Russ, I want to close with prayer, an affirmative prayer about what's happened today. So if we could just take a breath. Oh, compassion is the spiritual energy that dissolves the negative effects of judgment. When I reflect on the conflicts in my life or my community or even the world, I learn from the consequences of judging others. I appreciate the rich diversity of this mortal realm, but I also recognize the common humanity in our universal needs. By making loving choices in my life, I honor and recognize the oneness lying back and underwriting all beings. I remember true compassion arises from the powers of divine love, wisdom, and understanding. True compassion is when I see and feel another person's divine identity, regardless of the appearances or circumstances. As I affirm, claim, and put a demand on my wise heart, I am aware of what to think, say, and do to connect with each soul in my world. I see the divine in everyone. I listen and speak with love, respect, and compassion. We are grateful for the warmth, awareness, and connection that we have shared today with the longings of our hearts. We are enlivened by learning that reminds us of our innate power to communicate skillfully. May we practice and explore with each other with collaboration that feels authentic and empowering. Enter the beauty of the needs, and we enter life. And so it is. Amen.
have Mike. I let a couple of Martin Luther King days go by since I've been down here without about doing this song. Somehow that happened. Anyways, I found out what the talk was this week, and it's interesting, Jeannie, that you mentioned that Rosenberg's book he was putting this together around the time Martin Luther King was active in his ministry. So this is a little story of Martin Luther King, basically, and the person who wrote the song, the lesson that they learned. This is called "I Believe This Belongs to You." I once heard a powerful story about a man who stood in his truth with such conviction in who he was. He would not be moved. Someone stepped out of the crowd and said, "Are you Martin Luther King?" He said, "Yes, I am." And the well-dressed man spit on him. Then King took out his handkerchief and he wiped the hate from his suit. He gave it back to the man and said, "I believe this belongs to you. I will lift you up and do what I can do. I see your heart, I know your pain, I have been there too. I will hold you high while you do what you have to do. But I am clear who is standing here. I believe this belongs to you." I once had a powerful story I used to carry around. I thought it was you all this time that held my spirit down. But now I know the truth of who I came here to be. You are my angel in disguise, not my enemy. So I thank you for the part you played in this dance we had to do. I give you back your own true love. I believe this belongs to you. I will lift you up and do what I can do. I see your heart, I know your pain, for I have been there too. I will hold you high while I do what I have to do. I give you back your freedom now. I believe it belongs to you. I will lift you up and do what I can do. I see your heart, I know your pain. I have been there too. I will hold you high while you do what you have to do. I give you back your own true love. I believe this belongs to you. I am clear as we're standing here. I believe this belongs to you.
This is the place where you get to share your great generosity. So whether it's the offering that you're holding in your hand, the offerings that you give online, or that you come here today to share your heart, your light, your love, your beauty with this community, I invite you to take that in your hands. And as it's building and growing there, join me in affirming together. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And they're off.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning, everybody. Tina has worked diligently on putting together information for us about shelters, food banks, and other types of agencies that are available for us in this area. So if you will see her, she has them all printed. And Tina, thank you very,
Yes,
very much.
yes, yes.
I'm sorry, we don't have the food banks. We have shelters and other services. Food banks will be available next week. And I know you want to give a huge thank you to the people who made those phone calls during the week to make
Yes,
sure that these
yes.
agencies were still open. As we found out, I know that the calls that I made that they don't exist or they merged or they do other things. So thank you very much, because I guess that changes quite frequently. So thank you. That's definitely a need here. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Armand and Angelina is this Thursday coming up. They've been a great program when they've been here before. I expect nothing less from them. They're always quite professional in what they do, but heartfelt in their professionalism, if that makes sense. So please, it's my love offering. Come join us on Thursday evening, 7 o'clock. And I will tell them that this Saturday, we're going to beautify the outdoors, okay? And I know that y'all are going as hot as Dickens to be out there. That's why we're going to start early and do about that much, okay? Meaning we're not going to spend very much time out there because there's just a few things that we really need to knock out. Come up here. I promise you, you'll go to a brunch. You won't be after lunch. We're not spending all day. We're just spending a very short time. But come, help. There's things that need to be done, and they don't need to wait. So please participate. I'll be here by 7 that morning. Y'all can wander in by 8, a little later, okay?
Wonderful. Also, we have our spirit group is still ongoing on Wednesday evenings here at 6:30. Is that correct?
That's correct.
At
Mhm.
6:30. Don't forget that we do have Sounds of Unity Friday, July 20th, and I want to remind you that the songwriters group has been canceled for this Wednesday because Bill will be out of town. So I wanted to remind everybody about that. Before we do the Greg Hamlin YouTube, God, if I could just also announce that Greg will be here July 22nd. There's a short video to show about that. And if I could just ask everyone to please, after service, to please join us in the community room. The prayer chaplains have asked if they could please have the sanctuary so they can pray with the people that would like some prayer time here in this space. So please join us in the community room right after service. Would be greatly appreciated. And now Scott's going to show you a little blurb, a little video about Greg who will be here not only to do the lesson on the 22nd, but then that evening to do a concert.
And I have this list. It's called the Top 10 Whiny Victim Love Songs. And it's really, really hard to get this down to 10. But I'm going to give you my current favorites. And we're going to start with a group called the Cardigans that had a recent hit because, for a couple of reasons. One, you might know this group since it was a recent hit. But two, I want you to try to imagine yourself actually saying this to another human being. So I cry and I plead and I beg, oh, love me, just say you love me, fool me, go on and fool me, love me, pretend you love me, leave me, just say you need me. Now, is it just me or is that relationship getting off to a rocky start? All right, what about country? That's kind of a gold mine. You must think I look bad with a smile, for you haven't let me wear one in quite a while. And there's a sort of a subgroup that I like to call the death songs. You know, if you leave, I'll die. Dozens of these. Can't live if living is without you. Everybody can't live. I can't live anymore.
All right, we're going to kill the video there. We're not going to. We got to save something for when he's here. So,
He's a very, very funny guy. Please come join us July 22nd.
can I say one more thing? I forgot to put in the slides. July 29th, the end of this very month, with all this other stuff we got going on, is a fifth Sunday, and I am eliciting the crowd, the congregation, the community. If you would like a song to be presented on that Sunday, to please get with me. Maybe write it down, write the title down, who does it, and we'll have a conversation about your participation, whether it's to actually sing the song, or maybe just share a story about the song, or if you're really shy and you still want to have a song but you don't want to go on stage, you can just kind of tell me why the song has meaning to you. So I need those pretty soon because it takes me a little time to get those together. So again, song title, who the artist is, and we'll just have a little quick conversation about why the song is meaning, or I can catch up with you later. So I will be in the community room directly after the service. Yes.
Thank you, Tam. When we create our unity circle, please. Yes, Linda. Oh. Thank you. Yes.
Oh, does it say? Oh, my bad. Thank you for pointing it out. Shoot. And we put up wrong information.
Katie. Here's our prayer chaplain today, so if you would like to join her in prayer, she'll be up front here following the service.
Mom's collecting cards.
In our close here, I would like to acknowledge and celebrate something. Would someone like to tell us what's going on?
I got engaged on the 4th of July.
Yay! And the ceremony will be soon.
Yes.
Yes, very soon.
Oh my goodness.
So we acknowledge and celebrate with you this great event in life, right? To get married, to celebrate with another our love, and with that love we'll acknowledge that community here that holds her and embraces her and wraps those arms of love around this union and this celebration in their life for the days, months, years, decades, centuries, we hope, to come.
That's scary. Take them into the next life.
Oh, so some of us married folks, yeah, that centuries mark is kind of scary.
We should take them into the next lifetime.
With that, if you'll join me in our closing affirmation. Together, the light of God surrounds us. I am the light. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love. The power of God protects us. I am the power. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as our creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other, perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be a moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. And take each moment peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it be